Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My presentation is on transpersonal growth for society through complementary, alternative, and integrative medicines. My name is Foxie-Malik, and I'm ready to be here today with you. So I'm to be a transpersonal social worker at CSULB, Cal State Long Beach. And the journey to here has been fun, been great, and now I'm here with you today. We're going to be talking about transpersonal, the ideas around it, how it's applied to our work, our medicine, our story. And my whole thesis is around the work of integrating the transpersonal within complementary, alternative, integrative medicines, CAIM, which includes psychedelics, of course, and how it's amicable for individuals and societal evolution. On the agenda today, we're going to be defining some of the terms surrounding those. We're going to be having some experiential mindfulness moments. We're going to turn this into a ceremony with some ceremonial intent. And we're going to see some of the actionable approaches as well. So first off, let me tell you a little bit about myself in depth, my story. Well, first off, I'm surprised and honored to be here today. It's truly incredible to kind of just find myself in a space with so many intelligent folks, so many people doing their craft, having their medicine, helping people, having their clients. And I've also been doing a little bit of that in a different way. I've been a drag queen for the past 10 years. I've been putting smiles in crowds, turning those smiles upside down, from frowns to beautiful, beautiful, bright white teeth in the audience. And what you might not know about me throughout that journey from then to now is that I've been in some very dark places, very, very low places. I found myself being addicted to drugs, specifically meth. And that promised me some connection with people, and it was just mind-blowing, and it was ravaging my body. But I was being controlled by an entity that was beyond me. I was unhealthy, I was unwell, I was procrastinating on my life. I was doing things that I did not want to do. And I thought I was alone at that time. Very, very alone. I had suicidal ideation. There was just so much going on. But one of the things that really got me was my community, my drag community, my fraternity, Delta Lambda Phi at Cal State Long Beach, way back when. And also my partners. Along that journey, not only did I have them, I found a spiritual community. I started medication with a psychiatrist. I started therapy. I started doing all of this growth and this work on myself. It was self-actualizing and then self-transcendence, finding a way to really do the transpersonal work, getting beyond myself onto something else, my community, giving back after I was healed through so many lovely people in lovely spaces. So again, I'm so honored and proud to be here with you today, to be doing this work, to be sharing this with you. So let's move on forward. So what are modes of transpersonal? We'll be looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs right here. And on this, there's a lot of needs that people need to meet and get met. And then there's self-actualization. And we thought that was the apex of it. But then there's self-transcendence. That's transpersonal. Getting beyond your own self and getting back to your community, getting beyond just this one individualized person and seeing that you're a part of a collective, a whole, and it's all interconnected. Transpersonal disciplines, therefore, tend to be exceptionally wide-ranging, interdisciplinary, and integrative. Their investigations include higher developmental possibilities and what Maslow's called the farther reaches of human nature. To continue with that, psychedelics can be really helpful in changing, in questioning, in dissolving those oppressive narratives that keep people oppressed, that keep them from accessing their liberation. And so if we do this consciously, and if we can do this in a safe space where harm is not perpetuated, then we can actually have this beautiful opportunity for the collective liberation. So I mentioned communities earlier. So what are our communities? They're the structures we belong to. They're the cultures we belong to. They're the intersections we hold. They're all of the people around us. So what are complementary, integrative, and alternative medicines? Honestly, they're almost everything that you want to consider a medicine, in my opinion. And over here we have a little quote: all active ingredients contributed to the totality of any treatment or therapy, whether conventional or complementary, those are our medicines. And within that, I include psychedelics, somatic experiences, intuitive and holistic medicine out there, earth-based medicine, plant medicine, all of that. And obviously the built-in placebo effect we see in our research. So I want to invite you today to join me on a little revolution of possibility, where your ingenuity, your intelligence, everything about you is exactly what we need to realize the reality we live in, to do the work. So join me. Now that we've said all that, I want to take a moment to pause, to breathe in and out with you. So if you feel so comfortable, please close your eyes and listen to me count you into breaths. At the count of 3, we'll begin. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, breathe. Hold. Exhale. Thank you. Let's move on. So we really have to understand the roots of psychedelics and the medicines around them. So there's context and history and the culture shifts that we have to talk about. We have to see all the things that we've done so far. That's great. But it's time to pivot, you know? And we've fallen short. Honestly, objective reality, the worldview produced by the spirit of scientific inquiry, is the myth of our time. Transpersonal future, that future. So the past, the mytholithic times, you know, of the Paleolithic, the Neolithic, all of our mysteries, all of the things that we used to hold that we've let go to get into our present, the era of enlightenment, the Industrial Revolution, all the way to the 21st century with our iPhones and AI. It's pretty awesome, though we've only gotten so far. So how do we get to that future? What can the future look like? In my idea, there's a possibility that there is reanimism, collaborative societies, and the transpersonal paradigm that we'll be working on and seeing the roadmap to. There's a book called The Chalice and the Blade by Rain Eisler, and she kind of goes over this whole entire understanding of how to get there, all of the evidence base of revisioning our history and preparing us for the future. So let's talk about the problems, and I want to give a little invocation. We'll be addressing skepticism, medicalization barriers, and the concerns of woo-woo. First, let us call in and invoke energies for this work. I call in my wise and good ancestors connected by blood. I call in my ancestors that I'm not connected to, the ones that I'm spiritually connected to, like Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. I call in the spirit and the energies of peace and respect. Please join us so we can do this work. So looking at the problems, there's the skeptic archetype, there is the medicalization model, there is marginalized engagement and outreach. So what are archetypes? When we think of archetypes, it has a root word to it. There's arche and types, and that means the first and kind model, the first kind or the first model. These are internal energies, inherited patterns, the imaginal realm. What does the skeptic archetype look like? Well, that can be the hater, the elitist, the trickster, all of these things that kind of make us feel a little bit disconnected towards ideas that are not our own or that we don't fully understand. And one of those things is the language that we use and the intent around that versus the impact. When there's someone more and not clinically licensed, utilizing terms that they don't know, or utilizing some woo-woo terms, there's this kind of resistance. That's the skeptic archetype. This is the word. This is transpersonal. The models and paradigms problem. So to look into this, I'd like to share this quote with you. I like to see and officially acknowledge closer integration between complementary and practitioners and conventional medicine. Serialized medicalization versus personal growth. By attending primarily to problems, assessment can fail to account for individual strengths. A deficiency focus can lead to the devaluing and, in some cases, dehumanizing of people. This is the work. This is transpersonal. And finally, outreach. It's simple, it's clean. Just get out there and reach out to people. Connect. Include them. The marginalized people, BIPOC communities, queer, trans, women, the underserved. This is the work. This is transpersonal. So talking about the approach. So how can the integration of transpersonal and equitable approaches to psychedelic and complementary alternative and integrative medicine contribute to individual healing and societal transformation? That's a good question. So solutions is how to interpret the work. How do you fit that into your own paradigm for your research, for your studies? Decolonization, reanimism, getting in touch with nature again, understanding we're not separated from it from the experience of having the enlightenment, separated us from it. So it's reanimism, re-indigenation. There's radical inclusion, expanding our definitions, asking for help, and the outreach. This is all multidimensional integration. So this is my call to action for you. What are ways to do the work? What does your work look like? So what's happening out there right now is amazing. There is the new attention to culture, racism, and discrimination in the DSM-5, pages 17 through 19. That has been implemented, and it actually is really odd to me that it wasn't a consideration before. But, we're growing and we're getting there. And the idea that we know woo-woo works. There's the studies and research behind mindfulness and meditation now, you know? And then there is all of this axis right here, which basically is talking about the axis of identity expansion in transpersonal discipline. There is the realm of the natural world, earth and life, that immanency. There is the imaginal realms of transcendence, getting beyond ourselves, getting in a little bit more that allows us to connect and see fully. So, in conclusion, with gratitude, we release the forces we invoked. I release our good and wise ancestors. I release the energies that have held us to be able to do this work. With gratitude to you, we now have sight and understanding of the transpersonal in our work. What might be the possibilities? What research is out there? What places to get to understand how to utilize these disciplines, to know about these terms, to adapt them and integrate them. That's our medicine. With gratitude, I close this ceremony and open the door for questions. So thank you to the psychedelic community, or Leon, my mentor, Zach Daly, Maria Robles, Liana Talise Robinson, the Arbor Legacy, where I've been learning Indigenous wisdom, and our elder is Sarah McLean Bicknell, Nanette, Eric Pierce, June Kay, my polypod, and many others who have supported me in this journey. Thank you so very much. So stay connected, stay in community, and stay conscious. My name is Foxie-Malik. Thank you so much for your time. Ashe. Go forth, seek. May your heart be your guiding key.